This video is sponsored by MOFT. I've had the iPhone 17 Pro in my everyday carry for a few months now. I wanted to skip past all the spec reviews to show you what actually makes a difference in the real world and how to unlock the creative features that make the Pro worth the Pro price. So today I'm going to share my long-term experience of the iPhone 17 Pro, the model I'd choose, it's not the orange, and where it truly shines. Photography that rivals dedicated cameras, pro video tools that turn you into a serious filmmaker, whether you like it or not, and the accessories that complete a creative and powerful setup. Hi, it's Simon, welcome back to Better Creating. More than ever, this year's Pro iPhone lineup is a legitimate creative powerhouse, but most people barely scratch the surface of using it. We just text and do our social media probably. But let's face it, you either want it or have already bought the Pro to have the best thing out there and have bragging rights, or because you genuinely want the Pro power and cameras. Let me know honestly in the comments where you stand. But if you're in that second camp, or if you just want to justify being in the first, you deserve to know what it's truly capable of. And well, after using this thing for a couple of months, I've also got a theory about why Apple have built hardware that's more advanced than we could possibly need right now. Okay, I've been using the iPhone 17 Pro now for almost 2 months, and I previously had this, the iPhone 16 Pro. Now, first of all, let's just look at the design differences because I'm really enjoying this new aesthetic. I think because they released the iPhone Air, they've been fully enabled to go full utilitarian power user with this thing, and I think it really benefits from it. I love this kind of harsher design around the edge, but also there's a kind of smoother edge to it. It feels better in the hand, and there's something really satisfying about the balance of it now, with the plateau going all the way across the width of the phone where the other one stopped. The screen size, well, it's pretty much the same size, but I really love also with iOS 16, this new kind of dynamic imagery on the lock screen, and when we open them up, I've got each of these at 50%, but you can see this screen is a lot brighter than that. So you're also getting a much better use outdoors. I really love this new design, and it just feels like a kind of natural development from the one before it. But here's what's fascinating. I think that this represents a completely different philosophy from last year's Pro. My 16 Pro feels like a refined premium tool. This 17 Pro feels like, well, strangely, like it's built for something that doesn't quite exist yet. I'll explain that at the end when we talk about who this is for and if you should be upgrading. So anyway, I've got the orange colorway here, and I'll be honest with you, if you're serious about this working with everything that you own, or that you're worried about damage like scratches, I'd maybe keep away from the anodized colorway. Yeah, this thing is probably one of the most robust iPhones out there, but I've seen people easily scratch these. So the only real option for me has got to be the silver. It's beautiful, probably has less issues with scratching. I just think it goes with everything. But let me know which you would choose, or if you've already chosen one, in the comments. Now, as always, the iPhone gets another chip upgrade. And this year, the places I've actually noticed the A19 Pro chip over the already excellent A18 Pro chip has got to be things like gaming and particularly on-device AI. And then there's the improved thermal design along with the new chip efficiency improvements, meaning that the Pro apps and creative apps can run longer without throttling, and you don't feel it getting as hot. That's a really great find. This thing stays a lot cooler than this thing. Now, as you'll see in a bit, whilst the 17 has 2 identical cameras as in the 16, with one of them upgraded so that they're all now 48 megapixel strong, the image processing models in the software of the A19 Pro chip is where we really see that dramatic improvement and the quality of the images, particularly in low light and in the roll-off of things like shadows and highlights. But before we talk cameras, we need to talk about one of my favorite iPhone accessories that I've been using for 3 years now, and for good reason, on all of my phones. And that is with today's sponsor, MOFT. This is the Snap Studio gift box from MOFT. And what I love about MOFT is how they combine minimal clean aesthetics with functional creator-focused tools. The centerpiece has got to be this, the MOVAS case made from MOFT's vegan leather, and it feels premium in the hand with tactile buttons and covered camera control button. It's really lovely to hold. I particularly love this Misty Cove colorway with the iPhone 17 in orange. Plus, the built-in MagSafe works seamlessly with everything in the box. And my favorite has got to be this thing, the invisible tripod wallet stand. One fold, gives you a tripod for calls, flip it out for vlogging mode, and even the perfect handheld grip when you want to make calls. It's super cool, and it's also, if you want it to be, just a simple stand. Next up is the Snap Field Wallet, an origami-inspired wallet. It's really cool. It attaches in the same way, but my favorite thing about this is that this thing will open up to hold a bunch of cards and cash. You can pull this little slider out to access things, and if you unfold it, you can also fit a SIM card with an ejector tool if you want to. Fantastic. It even works itself as a simple stand if you want it to. Now, they also include the Everywhere Lanyard, which is a very nice adjustable strap which allows you to carry your phone hands-free, a bit like the crossbody strap from Apple, but I think done in a really cool way. You could actually use this for a camera as well if you didn't want to use it for your phone. Very nice. It's got a quick release button adjustment, and you also get this, the Snap Dual Watch Band for 4 color combinations on your Apple Watch. Pretty cool, all very magnetic. The only problem is that, well, I don't own an Apple Watch, but I can definitely still recommend this. I'm just gonna give it to my mate instead. So there you go, I'll have everything linked in the description, and they're running a deal at the moment. Buy any Snap MOVAS case plus the add-on accessories and get $10 off. So thank you very much, MOFT, for sponsoring this portion of today's video, and stick around for a few more super cool accessories a bit later on in this video. Okay, let's talk about photography and the cameras. Probably the main reason most people would choose a Pro model over the Air or the standard iPhone 17. Now, I'm not going to go into loads of detail about all the specs, as you've probably already heard those. The big difference that I noticed day to day using this was the front-facing sensor on the selfie camera. The great benefit of this is that you now have a square sensor with way more pixels in it, which makes both the image quality much better, and because it's square, it's easy to adjust to landscape and portrait without having to turn the phone yourself. Now, I filmed some footage using it at an event recently, and it's now finally usable, I can report, as a camera for posting to Instagram Reels and Shorts on YouTube without a real worry about quality. So this is a standard shot outside, no mic, just the camera straight out of the iPhone on the 1X lens to give you a feeling. I'm now going to flip it round to the front-facing camera, but have the phone vertical, and let me see the difference. Yep, this is with the square sensor, so I'm holding the phone vertically, and now I'm speaking to you on the front-facing camera. Pretty impressive. The next practical improvement has to be the fact that all 3 rear-facing cameras are now 48 megapixel. Now, I didn't think I'd like this as much as I did, but the 8X 200mm equivalent zoom is really cool. Now, Apple talked about when they released this that you now get 8 Pro lenses in your pocket. And technically, sure, you do. You get a macro, a 13mm, a 24mm, a 28mm, a 35mm, a 48mm, a 100mm, and 200mm. But I don't really think that's completely true, is it? You certainly get that many focal lengths, but some of them are digital adjustments and some are optical. Ultimately, if you use the 3 different cameras on this thing, you'll feel super happy with the quality and the power, and it's quite hard to tell the difference when you're digitally zooming. While the 8X zoom really is a 4X zoom, 100mm, optically, and then zoomed in again using digital processing, the quality of the processing and the way that it's treating images in this new Apple software, whatever they've done, is super impressive. I really also rate their action mode, which is really just means you turn it on when you want to be super stable and walking with it. It keeps you in the center of the frame and it just looks great. It's quite difficult to see the difference between digital and optical in this, and I think that is a real testament to what they're building here. And that leads me on to photography in general. Let's take a look at some images and let's talk about using the iPhone 17 for photos. But what I've been doing is comparing the iPhone 17 Pro with the Fuji X100VI. Now, this is a 40 megapixel X-Trans 5 sensor on APS-C. And comparing these images, you've got to admit, it's hard to see the difference at points between the iPhone 17 and the X100VI. In some ways, I prefer the iPhone 17 pictures for the way it's balancing the image. Now, with a little bit of work, you probably could recreate the Fuji look and get 80% of the way there. Now, they're not too far apart on megapixels, but nonetheless, you can see the value of a mirrorless camera because of the look of those beautiful colors and the APS-C sensor. You're always going to struggle to match it. But when you're using the right camera with the right camera settings and an app I'll show you in a bit, you really can get very close. I mean, with this thing on, it looks just like it. And before we move on to video, look at this. Same image on the 16 Pro and the 17 Pro sensor, same focal length, same lighting. I think if we zoom in and do a bit of pixel peeping, the quality of that image in the shadows and the roll off of the shadows across into the highlights just feels like a much more natural tone on both skin and the environment around it. And you can see that this is much better in low light. Whatever they've done, it's impressive. And if you look at these two photos, one taken on the Fuji X100VI and one on the iPhone, it took me a minute when I looked at them again to work out which was which. Let me know in the comments if you can work it out. The other big update for the iPhone 17 Pro is for video, and the addition of the ability to film in ProRes RAW. Now, if you don't know what that means, it's essentially the professional standard that pros use for recording professional standard quality footage. But to be honest, it takes up so much storage space that for me, a file that's just ProRes is plenty. And I think filming in Apple Log, the ability to color grade with it is already fantastic. So let's start with apps that I recommend to make the most of this incredible camera system and the new camera control functionality. Now, number one is Final Cut Camera, Apple's own pro video app that lets you record ProRes RAW and capture wide field of view footage. But what makes it special isn't the technical specs, it's how the interface gets out of your way while giving you proper control. Clean controls, intuitive gestures, and I think the quality is really impressive. This legitimately transforms your iPhone into a more professional setup. Kino, winner of the 2024 iPhone App of the Year, won it for good reason. This is that app that if you combined it with this thing, you can be shooting cinematic video with no film school required. The tagline just says, just press record and create cinematic video. But for experienced creators, it includes full manual mode, focus peaking, color waveforms, audio meters, everything you need to shoot like a pro. That instant grade feature for applying LUTs in real time is awesome. And then there's Blackmagic Pro Camera. Now this is a great free option if you want full manual controls. It gives you things like false color and zebra support, and it supports things like LUTs. And of course you've got all of that DaVinci Resolve workflow if you edit in that. And pro tip, whilst the camera control button is just for your native camera app, you can set your action button to open your app of choice. And then you've got a quick long press access to whichever shooting app you want to use. Okay, here's how to optimize your new iPhone 17 Pro for some serious creative work. To really maximize these creative apps, focus on iPhone's unique capabilities. Camera control. Now, I know it's not for everyone's taste, but the physical button on this isn't just for default camera apps. It also gives you tactile control over settings without looking at the screen. I personally love using this to tweak and set exposure so that I can tweak the brightness of a photo. Pro RAW and ProRes support, of course, you just open this up and turn on log and you can be shooting in ProRes in no time. It's really nice and it's super gradable if you're into that. And the next thing would be storage. When you get one of these, make sure that you consider the 1 terabyte or above model if you're serious about filming or taking lots of images. And then on top of that, I would invest in a storage device that you can attach, plug in, so that when you do want to do those higher frame rates or film larger stuff in ProRes, you've got a great workflow. I've had this one for a long time from Crucial. It's the X9 Pro, and I just stuck it to a kind of MagSafe mounter myself and it attaches. But to be honest, there are better, newer versions that will just attach onto the end. We don't need all these cables and you're good to go. It even allows you to plug directly in with USB-C and then also plug a mic into that. So it's worth checking those out. Then of course, there's things like power management. Creative apps are super hungry, so a MagSafe battery pack is really useful. I've just got this one from MOFT and it's a simple, easy thing to attach and it goes with those nice products that I showed you earlier. But the next item might just solve that as well as making your phone a true camera replacement. So let's talk briefly about accessory integration. This is the Telesin Master Grip. is actually a brilliant way to make your iPhone feel much more like a camera. This magnetically attaches and you can turn the phone vertically and shoot like that. It's super cool. It's even got a little 1/4-20 mount on the bottom so you can attach it to a tripod if you want. But what I love is the case also seamlessly blends with the aesthetic. If you had this with the silver, it would pretty much look like a mini SLR camera. Although I've got to say, the moment I put the case on, it actually broke. So that was probably my fault, but I wouldn't say this case is as super strong as others might be. It's broken, the case. And this is probably the final area where you might want to up your game, and that is in audio. Now my 2 picks would be one of these two. The DJI Mic Mini, everything you need goes in the case. It's the only system I found that has serious power and you can put the wind muffs and the cable all in one place. So this works both for camera and phone, and it's got a little attachment that allows you to attach this to the end of your phone like so, and you've got yourself a mic setup. Pretty cool. But if you want to keep things even more minimal, the Hollyland Lark M2S are a great find, and for a mobile, it's kind of all you need. These are super tiny when they're clipped to your top. You can barely see them. And what's great about these is it comes with a USB devoted mic connector, and that is super clean. I can actually hold this and not notice that that's on there. Oh, and it's worth saying, if you're going to keep things super simple, with the latest software update, AirPods Pro 2, and of course the AirPods Pro 3, now can actually be used as mics. Okay, I'm just speaking like I'm quietly in a room. I'm filming in the Blackmagic app in Log, and the sound is coming through these, my AirPods Pro 2, not even the 3s. You can do it with the software. So this has got to be one of the simplest in your pocket filming setups. It's literally what I carry in my pocket every day. It's on the MOFT invisible tripod, for goodness sake, sat on a stool. This has got to be the simplest way to have in your pocket high quality filming. Now, admittedly, I'm using studio lighting, but let me know in the comments how this compares to the main shot in your eyes. The camera's a lot further away as well. It bears questioning. With a camera like this, it's like £1,500. All of this gear is cheaper, and it's your phone. Now, this is a reason I think Apple are taking serious video seriously on the iPhone. So here I am on the 2x lens. I'm using the Hollyland for sound, and we're filming in ProRes 24 in 4K, 24 frames per second. This is a really great setup, super portable. I'm using a little tiny small rig stand. I've got the Telesin Master Grip as my mount, but it's also a control, and then we're just shooting with the iPhone. This is really a different setup, and as you can see, it's a pretty easy one to carry. And here is that pretty much that same shot again, but filmed on the XH2S. I'm using an ND filter. I'm at 35mm on an APS-C, and we're filming in Fuji Log. I think they come out pretty comparable. But there's one more thing I've got to show you. Telesin also made this, which, if I'm honest, looks a little silly, but as a tech creator, this is one of the most useful items out there. This is the magnetic neck holder. You can clip it around your neck like this. It's got a good, nice kind of rubber base. It sits really nicely, and you can just MagSafe mount your iPhone onto it. Now, why is this good? Well, whilst it may look ridiculous when you're wearing it, as a tech creator, I'm picking up a lot of items. And this is the best way to be able to quickly film items that you're looking at if you want to show details. I can hold things at events, pick up that new iPhone and film it easily, and it really does add a lot of value to your setup. So with the quality of these new iPhone 17 Pro cameras and the ability to film and monitor hands-free, it's a no-brainer for very little money. Check them out in the link in the description if you like the look of them, and thanks to Telesin for sending these few bits over for me for free. So here's that theory about why this iPhone 17 feels so strange and is probably still worth the upgrade. I think it's hardware built ahead of its moment. All the extra RAM, the neural accelerators, the thermal management, it's like Apple's hardware development got ahead of their software development because of AI. Well, because of AI delays. Most likely when Apple finally does their big Syrian AI revamp next year, see Tim Cook's meeting with Google recently, the Pro phone will become that poster child for those features. Until then, this Pro phone makes a very good phone, but not necessarily a necessary upgrade if you've got the 16. The situation where I see the 17 Pro being worth it is one, you already want a plus-sized phone for the screen and battery, and especially you're in it for an eSIM only country where battery life is genuinely impressive, or two, you're a creator who needs ProRes RAW capabilities and professional video features. Or three, Apple reveals amazing AI features next year that need that extra RAM and thermal management. Now for most people, I would say the base iPhone 17 with its 120Hz display, improved cameras and base of 265GB storage absolutely hits the sweet spot, and it's an absolute deal. The Pro is genuinely for people who know they need those specific features. And well, if you've invested serious dough in your iPhone 17 Pro, you owe it to yourself to explore what it's truly capable of. But remember, tools like this are only as good as the systems and workflows you build around them. And to find the apps and simple additions to your iPhone that really make it flow, you should watch this video next. Or this one down here, because YouTube thinks you'll love it. Hit my face to get subscribed, and I'll see you on the next one.